is WMDSF Magazine, and this is your girl, Melanie. I'm here with the beautiful Amber Benson, and we're at New York's Comic-Con 2014. So tell me, the world knows you best as Tara, okay? Tara from Buffy The Vampire Slayer. What was it like being on that show?
You know, I was just really, really blessed to be a part of Buffy. It was such a wonderful experience, and I feel like, you know, the show itself was so beautifully written, so well put together. You know, all the acting is just like amazing, but to be able to play the role of Tara, and for Allie and I to be in that long-term lesbian relationship on it was really the first long-term lesbian relationship. I was just gonna say, for TV on network television. I mean, that to me, like, I feel like if I died tomorrow, I've done something with my life.
Exactly.
You know,
you made a statement, right?
We made a statement.
Exactly.
And we opened the door and we said it's okay to be what you are.
Exactly. And I have to commend you for that, because a lot of people are still in the shadows and they can't come forward. And now things like this can make them say it's okay. We don't have to hide who we are. So was this your first actress job on television?
I think I had done like a couple of little guest spots, but I had mostly done film.
Okay.
And it was a fluke. It was an audition. I just went in and met with them and read, and they were like, that was great. And then I was supposed to go visit my dad for the weekend.
Oh, wow.
And so I got in the car and I drove 3.5 hours and literally like pull up to my dad's house, and I get this phone call. They want you to come back in. I was like, I can't. It's not gonna happen. I'm like 3.5 hours away, and it's like 5 o'clock. I ain't gonna make it. So they're like, well, they're gonna see people, and if they don't find somebody, then you can go back in, next week. And so they didn't find anybody. And I went back in and I got the part.
It was made for you. It was just destiny, right?
Yeah. Isn't that funny how things work out?
It works out just the way it's supposed to. So I know you wear multiple hats, right? She's a writer, she's a producer, she's a director. So what drove you to want to be a writer? Is it your parents' background? I know your parents write as well, don't they?
Well, my dad is a psychiatrist. My mom was a psychiatric nurse, and they are both now writing.
Oh my God.
My dad.
Did you inspire that?
I think I did. My dad is writing a memoir of his life.
Wow.
It's very cute. It's he's writing it in Final Draft, which is a screenwriting program. So it's a hybrid script / book. It's like 1,800 pages.
Oh my God.
It's real, like, it's so sweet, and it's it's his whole life. It's wonderful.
Wow.
And then my mom has written a children's book. So
nice. What is she writing it about?
It's a fantasy set sort of in, I want to say, in Port Townsend, Washington.
Oh, wow.
Is that right? Yeah. And it's about a little girl, and there might be some supernatural creatures.
Ooh. Is it for which grade? 6?
Yeah, it's much younger. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Middle grade.
Middle grade. Okay, cool. So your book is the Witches of Echo Park.
Yes.
So what? I know in a dedication you have all the women that you thank that support you. Who are these women, and how do they get you through the roughest times in your life?
You know, I have 2 disparate groups. I have my writers group.
Right.
We call each other the shamers because we shame each other into doing work. And it's literally all chicks, and then our friend Javi, who is he created that show, The Middleman.
Oh yes.
And so it's like Javi and the ladies, but it's like all chicks, and we
Charlie's
all
Angels.
Yeah, kind of actually. And we all work on different things. One of us writes romance. Someone's a TV writer for Parenthood. Someone else writes superhero stuff. Some do comic. Like, everyone's working on different things, and we all support each other.
Wow.
And then I have my neighborhood ladies, and I adore them also. They, some of them are in the business, some aren't, some are married, some are gay, some are straight, some have kids, some don't have kids, we all just sort of were there for each other. If somebody needs something, we get on the phone like, okay, who can come and babysit our friend's kid, and we have dinners, and we're not talking about like dudes, we're talking about like our lives.
Right.
And that to me was really important. I wanted to talk about that. I feel like so often those relationships are sort of sidelined. They're like the B story in books. And to me, I'm like, that's the A story. That's what I want to talk about.
I love that you brought that up, because that's what our magazine focuses on, and it's bringing women together. So I love that. And it's not just about gossip, like you said. I love that.
And we help each other. We support each other. What my friend Sarah, who's part of, we call each other, my neighborhood group, they're called the Allahs, the Angelino Heights Ladies Association. We made a short film together. My friend Sarah proofread the book.
Wow.
You know, she, you know, like we all help each other.
That's amazing. So did they inspire you to write this book? I know you said it was over sangria. So, so how did this come about?
Yeah, those relationships, my writers and my neighborhood, like all of those relationships really inspired me to sort of get sort of in the headspace of writing about this coven of women. Right. But I didn't sort of conceive of what the structure of the book was going to be until I sat down with my editor Ginger, and we had a bunch of sangria, and we just sort of talked about like what do you want to do with these women? How do you want to like set this world up? And so that's sort of where the impetus for the fact that they're, you know, the way that the world works, kind of in the book.
So give our readers a brief synopsis on how the book actually flows. Like, what is the story behind it?
I would say it's very much in line with Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic, but with a bit of the sort of fun, saucy, naughty bits of like the Witches of East End.
Yes, I love that show. I just watched it last night.
So it's kind of a hybrid of it's definitely more of an adult book.
Okay.
But it's about this girl Lise whose great aunt is dying, and she has to come back and sort of become part of this coven of witches that her aunt is the master of.
Wow.
And
so did she know that she was a witch?
No.
Okay.
So she's learning all of this, and she's giving up her life and sort of coming in service to something greater than herself.
Wow.
And I think that's an interesting motif. It's something that I'm always interested in.
Right.
You know, the call to adventure, the call to a greater service in this world. I think it's really important to sort of to be thoughtful that it's not just us.
Right.
It's not just self all the time. It's about the world we live in. We are a unit. We are a community. We are a society. What's happening in West Africa with Ebola, it's not about coming here and infecting us. It's about going, no, those are people. Those are people, and they deserve to have all the same, like health stuff that we have here. We're a unit. Like, what happens there happens here.
Exactly. That's what people don't get. They always feel like, oh, they're over there, so we don't connect. Right, exactly.
So I get really, I'm like, no, what happens to you affects me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So I love that theory that you have for the book. And so I read something about you that was I read something about you that was quite unique. That as an actress, you don't own a TV. Can you explain that?
I used to have a very nice television. And I spent all this time watching like the Forensic Files and serial killer documentaries, and it's all research, totally research. But I was just spending too much time watching television with the 50,000 channels we have on cable. And I was like, I'm not getting the work done that I need to get done for myself. So when I moved 2 times ago, I actually sold my television to my old roommate. And it's still around. It looks great. When I visit, I get to see it. Hi, TV that was mine once upon a time.
So do you feel that you're more inspired that you don't have that distraction in your life to write?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get more stuff done, definitely not having a television. I treat myself to Netflix and to, Amazon Prime and stuff.
Oh, I love those. Those are the best. So what do you feel, as a writer, what's harder for you as a challenge? Is it the ideas? Is it coming up with different concepts? Like, what do you find as a writer? What's the most challenging?
The hardest part for me is just that it's very daunting to sit down and go, I have to write 100,000 words, or I have to write 90,000 words. You're like, it's so giant. How am I going to write all this? It's pages and pages and pages.
Exactly.
And just having that sort of dauntingness, it makes it hard to make myself sit down and do it.
Right.
So I have to break it up and go, okay, I outlined it. Here's one scene. I'm going to write that scene. All right. Here's the next scene in the outline. I'm going to write this scene. And you just sort of do it in pieces.
I like that.
And then by the end, you've written this whole thing. It's like, well, no, I wrote a bunch of little things.
Right. So it's not as overwhelming.
It's not as overwhelming.
Exactly. I like that. I'm going to have to use that idea for myself.
Yeah.
So I hear that you're also in Morganville coming up. So when does that start, and how can we watch it?
It's going to be the end of October, beginning of November, and it's going to be through Geek and Sundry, which is Felicia Day's company on YouTube. And it's a vampire series, and I get to be the big bad. Well, she's not even bad. She's just in charge. She's large and in charge. And I look like Grace Kelly. I'm blonde because of it.
I like that.
I'm getting used to being blonde.
Okay, it was so nice meeting you, and I can't wait to see you in this web series and to read that book. Well, tell our readers where they can find you and how they can get more information on your book.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Amber_Benson. I'm on Facebook, and it's Amber Benson Wrote This is the Facebook.
Okay.
And then I have a Tumblr, Amber Benson Wrote This on Tumblr.
Okay, cool. So you heard it here. This is WMDSF Magazine signing out.